Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jay here with No Limelight Productions. Today we're going to be doing a podcast, or not just today, but we're doing the session 0 for our podcast, which will be coming out in a few weeks. Hopefully next week, but it may be a couple weeks. I do got some wonderful players who are going to be playing with us, doing session 0 with us today, and ultimately they're going to be in the game with us as well. I got my buddy Moop, who's going to be playing a character in the game. Go ahead and say hello, Moop, if you would.
Hello.
And then I've got my wonderful wife, Deb, and she's going to be playing with us as well. So if you don't mind saying hi, Deb, Jen.
Good morning.
All right. Today we're going to be doing character creation and session 0, like I had mentioned before. We're going to be going through the book, walking them through the steps, and get some characters made, get some personalities made, and of course, have a good time doing it. So let me know when you guys are good to go, and we'll get started.
I am good to go.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me bring up my character sheet and I will build one with you guys. Okay. All right. So I got a character named Cheeky Jones. So obviously, where do you guys want to start? Do you guys want to start with your the names of your character? Do you guys have a concept in mind already?
I didn't really have a concept in mind. I was considering trying to mess with I don't know where it would be in this or how I would go about it, but more like an intellectual character, maybe like cyber hacking or I hate to use like a cyberpunk term from it, but like where you're like you can inject payloads into people's cyberware, more or less. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
That's my thought of where I want to go. I'll probably just build out the character and flesh out like some of its
All right. Well,
quirks, I think.
Well, the cool thing about this game, Dan, is I've got some pre-made backgrounds that you get to choose your diversity tags from, and
that's good.
Right. So diversity tag is basically going to diversify your skills. So you have your basic skills: physical, combat, survival, etc., and then you'll pick diversity tags that will break it down into a subclass. And then you'll get an additional die whenever you roll in accordance with that particular tag, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I was reading that. Okay, that's cool.
So, and it's a fluid class system, meaning you don't have to follow any criteria. If you want to have 3 diversity tags that are physical, where you're good at combat, and then you can have 3 nerdy ones where you're a great tech whiz. You can be anything you want. And then if you want a special tag, get with me, the GM, and we'll work on it. We'll get something that's going to be suitable for your character. It's like I said, it's pretty open. As long as it's not too broad, or as long as it's not too narrow, and it's a bit more of or too broad. Sorry, we can definitely fit that in. So, like I said, come up with a concept, and then we'll figure out the tags that are going to work best for you. What about you, Deb? You got any ideas on?
I was thinking going like a brute character.
Okay. So are you thinking melee? Because weapons or ranged weapons are also pretty powerful.
I was thinking more melee and being like a big buff character.
All right, sounds good. We can definitely make that work. All right, so there are several diversity tags that'll work with that. Since this is going to be an intermediate game, the terms aren't going to be too broad, but they're not going to be too narrow either. So basically, you can, if you want, you guys are going to get 6 diversity tags that you guys get to choose from. You guys can look through the background section and tell me if you find anything that you like. And then if there's something you want that's customized, that you want to be special, like something off the wall, and I know Dan's kind of off the wall, then talk to me about it and we'll see what we can do. So, yep. So go ahead and you guys know what page the backgrounds are on? It should be in the table of contents. And remember, you can pick and choose any diversity tags you want. You can go through every class and pick one of each if you wanted to. Well, up to 6, of course. All right.
It's like chapter 11 for the background, page 141.
141. All right. All right. So I'm gonna be building my character out with you guys. So Mr. Cheeky here. I think I'm gonna make Mr. Cheeky a rig jammer. He's gonna be a mobility character. He's gonna be a wheel man, basically. All right.
Dan, you may want to look at the neuro hacker on page 140.
The neuro extractor?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a lot. What I was thinking.
And remember, this is a playtest, Dan, so, you're very creative, Dan, and, I want you to find those loopholes in here, so we can work on getting those patched and fixed. So if you find any loopholes, Dan, go ahead and exploit them, and then as we're playing, we can adjust those things, and then I can take notes and then fix them in the next iteration of the game.
Let's see what I can find. No promises. Increase vulnerability.
All right, so we're gonna go with a rig jammer. Okay. Gonna take a tag. Gonna go with vehicle mastery. Let's see.
I think I'm gonna do the street rip.
The Street Ripper? Hey, babe, I think you need to lean into the mic a little bit more. You keep cutting out. I know you're probably doing that already, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I think for my second diversity tag, I think I'm gonna go with. I want him to be good with repairs as well, to be able to fix his vehicle. So I'm gonna go with another diversity tag that's gonna be in the rig jammer class, and I'm gonna go with quick repairs. Repairs should be in technical. Quick repairs. Okay, and then maybe I think since you're doing a melee character, I'm gonna do a range character. So let's see what we got here. Let's see. Oh, I know what class I'm thinking of. Let's go with the riot specialists. They have the enhanced melee capabilities and the enhanced firearm diversity tags. So I'm gonna go with enhanced firearms. Okay, combat, enhanced firearms. All right, so that's 3, and we need 6, and we need 3 more. And one thing that's cool too, guys, is if you ever do decide to play this, in the future with your friends or whatever, if you do end up liking it, there are scaling degrees of difficulty. So if you're playing hardcore mode, you're only going to pick up to 5 tags. Since we're playing intermediate, you're going to get an additional tag, which gives you 6. And then if you're playing easy mode, you can make it as easy as you want. You can give up to 7, 8, 9 tags, depending on how new your characters are to role playing. But we're right in middle ground though. Okay. Let's see, vast networks could be cool. Has many contacts. Okay, actually, let's see here.
Now, the 6 tags, do they have to be under each individual skill, or can they all be one skill, or do they have to be separate skills?
Well, it depends. That part you gotta kind of, like I said, it's kind of open to interpretation. So if it sounds like a skill that's technical, or a tag that's technical, it's gonna go under technical. If it sounds like a skill that's, mobility or whatever it is, you're gonna put it in the corresponding skill that it belongs to.
Okay, but if we picked 6 skills that were all physical, would that be okay, or do we need to diversify?
You can totally do that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. But you pick 2 tags that do the same thing and get twice the many dice though. Okay.
Gotcha.
So, we need to pick one of these backgrounds, right? Like, so if I went the neuro extractor, it doesn't mean I'm locked into all those tags, right? I could just pick the tags I want from that one.
Well, you don't even have to be a neural extractor. You can call yourself a neural. These are just optional backgrounds,
Okay. The thing is I want the advantages, though, right? How does that work?
Okay, so the advantages are made for a different game. Those are going to be removed in the final version of the game, because right now this game is also designed to be used with another system called the Freeform Universal System. If you read at the beginning of if you read at the beginning of this, it'll let you know that. But those will be removed in the final version of the book. But there's another system that this can be used with, and it perfectly crosses over to it.
Okay, so okay.
Right. So the only thing you have to worry about is the positive diversity tag. So the only thing that you need to pick from.
Gotcha.
Right. I should have clarified that. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. So weakness tags are also something I don't need to worry about either?
Correct. That is correct. Yes. For now, but that could change in the future. But for now, they're not worked into the system.
Okie dokie.
Ooh, silent movement would be good too. Hidden strikes could be good. Okay, so let's go.
I'm assuming the Nexum sphere is like the internet that everybody's kind of connected to in this world.
Yes. So you have you have that, but then you can connect to it via. It's like it's called Neuralink, and it's a company that's within the game, and it's kind of hard. I'm trying to the best way to explain it. It's pretty much like how in Cyberpunk, how they have brain dancing, and you can like go into the brain dance and physically see and feel, and you know, that's pretty much what Neuralink does. That's their version of the internet. Is you physically enter the world. Well, virtually enter the world, but you can, you know, you still have your emotions, or you can still, you know, like you still feel and things like it's you're a part of that universe basically.
Okay. So it's like what's that fucking movie with man.
But another cool thing is they're still the old net too. So you have the neural net, but you also have the old net. So the old net is still a thing, and a lot of systems still run off the old net as well.
Okay.
Expert with makeshift weapons, would that be combat or technical?
That would be combat. So yeah, so anytime if you lose a weapon or anything, if you find pick up a pipe, you're gonna get an additional damage die, or not damage die, but you're gonna additional die to hit with that.
Gotcha.
Or you can make your own. I think I'm gonna go with enhanced strength as well. Enhanced strength. One, two, 3, 4, 5. Need one more. Let's see what we got. Hey, babe, you took street tactics on your last character, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. You know what? Maybe. Nah, I'm not gonna go intimidation. Let's see. Maybe a combat medic? Maybe salvage expert could be good too. Okay, so that's 6. So it's gonna go physical mobility. Then we're gonna go combat and technical.
Good question, Jay.
Yes, sir.
With the is there like a form of, like, I guess you could say, like, overheating or like overloading someone's stuff like this character can do, right? The hacker or whatever, or the neural extractor kind of concept, right? Like, so there is like a wireless like attack I can do on people, right? I guess you would say.
No, let me see. There might be a diversity tag for that. I do have weapons that that can do stuff like that, like EMP weapons that can disrupt cyberware. But you know what? I'll give that to you.
So I like when it comes like to hacking, like I could maybe like system bypass someone's like firewall to their cyberware and make it act funny, right, or act weird, or.
All right, this is what I'll say, Dan. I'm gonna because it sounds so cool. You know that Blade Runner advantage?
Yeah.
I want you to take that, bro, as a combat skill, and then
Character gains additional hacks against non-human combatants.
Right. But I'll make it to where not just non-human combatants, but to heavily modified cybernetic combatants. So you can disrupt.
So
yeah, but you have to have some type of hacking ability as well.
Well, yeah, I plan on that, but one of the things I was looking at, and I was just wondering if it would. First of all, I was trying to figure out if that's possible, right? And then if it's possible, would that would that be considered a concealed weapon in a way? You know what I mean? Like if I'm doing it, and they don't know I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Could that be considered? Because I was looking at concealed weapons expert, and I was like, I wonder if those would synergize. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
I don't.
Because you still need to get a cyber deck though in order to do that. Which there are mechanics to get your cyber deck as well. It'll cost you $1,000 of your 2,000 crypto that you start off with. But then you'll start off with a cyber deck, or you can start off with a cybernetic enhancement as well, or a bio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And that's also in the rulebook as well. Let me find the page for you.
So, concealed weapons expert. If I got that, and then just put like the tag of "Hey, Bubby," like hack or cyber hacking or something like that as the specialty to that tag. You know what I mean? Because you have like some of them need to be like bladed weapons, or I guess I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. you get what I mean, though?
Right. Yeah. Well, just tell me what you're trying to do, and we'll see if we can.
Okay. So
we can develop a tag for you.
Right. So you said under physical, you wanted me to take the Blade Runner, right?
Yeah.
Which is just basically, I have more advantage on people who are highly modified
combatants
or non-human. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And then so what I wanted to do is when I do that, I want to do it as a stealthy thing, kind of like they don't know I'm doing this. You know what I mean? I'm like the net runner in the background hiding behind a thing using a camera or something like that to hack their shit. You know what I mean?
Those are two separate roles, so you're going to need some type of stealth. If you don't have any type of stealth, then you're just going to get the one dice under physical.
Right, okay. But could I take the concealed weapon tag to get the advantage when I do that? You know what I mean?
Well, the concealed weapon tag doesn't work.
For I guess...
The concealed weapon.
Okay, so it wouldn't count as a concealed weapon. Okay,
No,
that's what I was wondering. Or at least, or could I create a tag that would be like
invisible digital footprint.
Yeah, invisible threat. Something like that. Yeah, invisible digital footprint. Yeah, that sounds good too. Basically, like yeah.
So
through the firewall, invisible threat.
Well, either way, it's going to be two separate rolls. This is you're not going to be able to roll two separate dice at the same time. If that's what you're trying to do, it's going to be two separate rolls. You're going to need to do your roll for combat, then you're going to need to do your roll for stealth. So you don't. Basically, all you would need is any type of stealth physical tag, and that's going to give you an additional D10 right there. And you can take that tag up to 2 times, giving you additional 2d10 as you level. You can take each tag up to 2 times.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you want to get like some type of stealth tag. You pass on your stealth roll, boom, you're gonna get that attack.
Could I opt out of it being a physical and put it into a mobility tag?
Mobility is like vehicles mostly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So, would physical also fall under like our dexterity, like our ability to be acrobatic
Yes,
and such?
Exactly. That's physical. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
So physical runs all that. Okay. Because I'm not trying to make like a combat monkey per se. I'm making more of a technical character, but I feel like the ability to weave in and out of shit is going to be necessary. Okay.
Like I said,
Cool.
This is the first major playtest. So, like I said, it's going to be a long time before I have everything perfect and nailed down. So, we're just going to have fun with it, guys. If you want to try something, let's see what we can come up with.
Under the again with the Blade Runner thing that you were talking about as well, tag, could I use that as a tactical one instead as well? Since it would be because I would be more of a technical threat. You know what I mean?
That's a good argument.
I feel like versus a physical threat.
Go for it. Yep. Go for it.
Okay.
That can be technical too. Yep, I can see that.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I'm gonna take that off of physical then. Cool. Perfect. So technical, I think, is gonna be my highest stat, and I believe I was reading it. Am I correct? It's like 8, 6, and 4.
Okay, so for your skills, it's gonna be 6, 5, 4, and 3.
6, 5, 4, and 3. Technical doesn't have like an editable box, I guess, on it, but the rest of them do.
It does for me. That's.
Okay.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It doesn't. Right. Okay,
I'm just gonna write it in the tag area.
Right,
It's fine.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. I forgot to put it. I'll have to put this back in the system and fix that.
Nope.
Okay, so we're gonna
Let's see.
go 6 for physical. We're gonna go 6 for mobility. We're gonna go 5 for combat. We're gonna go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I kind of want them to be kind of social, so we're gonna go 5, 6, 6, 5, 5. Let's go survival 4 and awareness 4. And then, of course, knowledge is 3 and technical is 3. Okay, and then for your attributes, it's going to be 11, 10, 9, and 8. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. It's 11 because it's minus 2. Since we're playing intermediate, it'll be 11. Wait, 9. Yeah, 11, 9, 7, and 5.
11.
And then I'm gonna go with
7, 5. Okay.
And then survival.
And those attributes are where in this sheet?
Your attributes are up top: power, cognition, influence, and resilience.
Yeah, I think power, cognition, influence, and resilience.
Okay, so, and then I'm gonna go 9 for cognition because I am a rig jammer, so I need to be good at driving. But I also want to be decent at combat too. Okay, and then my 7 will be. My 7 will be. In social. And my resilience is gonna be kind of low, but it's gonna be 5. Yeah, if we're playing on a hardcore mode, it would be 10, 8, 6, and then 4. If we're playing, on the harder mode.
Okay, chaos navigation. You have moves through crowds easily. Would that be awareness?
That would be. Ooh, that's an argument too. I will give you this. I'll say you can either put it in physical because but I'll also say you can put it in awareness as well. I think they'll work for either one.
Okay, I'm doing awareness then.
All right, go for it. So anytime you're moving through large crowds of people or anything in that kind of situation, trying to escape through large crowds, you're going to get a bonus for that.
Yes.
And your guys' health, you're going to start with 20 health. Everybody starts with 20 health. So you can set your red marker at the 25 mark. Your health is at the very top of the sheet. Every 5 levels, there should be a red marker, a red check mark. And your red check mark will signify where you start. So you guys are going to be at 20.
So going back to my question again, if I wanted to use technical version of stealth instead of physical, like I was saying, basically I kind of want to just basically be good at hiding my trail in the net world.
Anything to do with stealth is always going to be physical. That's just a physical thing that you do. But if you're trying to be stealthy with your internet usage and hide tracks,
so like my trace, exactly. Yeah, I want my VPN active. You know what I mean?
And let's come up with a tag because I don't think I have a tag for that. So let's make one. VPN does sound kind of cool. We can do. It can't be too broad though. So I'm going to say this. Do you want to be able to cover your tracks in the neural nets? Or do you want to be able to cover your tracks in the old net?
I think it would be more beneficial in the neural net.
Okay.
But is everyone how is the if I'm going to be hacking into people's cyberware per se, are they connected? Would it be better through the neural net or would it be better through the other one?
For using that with cyberware, it ain't gonna matter. You're gonna be able to use both the neural net and the old net for that. What I mean for covering your tracks though, for instance, a lot of the smaller companies and their security systems and feeds and stuff like that all run on the old net. But if you're dealing with major corporations who have trillions of dollars at their disposal, the neural net is definitely going to be the way to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do probably the neural net, and then I'll do just call it Cyber Ghost or Leave No Trace.
Yeah,
or...
that's cool. Cyber Ghost sounds awesome, dude. Dude. Can I borrow that?
Of course.
Dude, that's sick.
Have it.
I like that. Let me write that down. Cyber Ghost. Leave no trace on the net.
Hello.
Let's see here. Let me bring up my notepad. I'll be taking notes as we play as well. No, actually, I'm going to bring a Word file for this one. And new document.
So I have all 6 tags under technical.
Cyber Ghost.
You are very technical.
I am a technical whore. Yes, I'm min-maxing the fuck out of this character.
So we've got Cyber Ghost, and your Cyber Ghost NeuroNet. Tide tracks whilst on the net.
What were the starting skill numbers?
6, 5, 4, and 3. You get 2 6 scores, 2 5, 2 4, and 2 3 that you can split up in any that you can put in any skill you'd like.
Okay.
What's the name of your character, Dan? You got a name for him?
I have not gotten one yet, but I was considering looking at some stuff. I have an idea.
Oh, do you want to have a philosophy and a moral approach? Because that's another mechanic that you can have. You don't have to have that. You know, you can develop that as you go too, or you can start off with one. Let me find the page for you here if it's something you want to consider. It is on. Let's see.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Jay? I had little visitors.
Oh, so there you can pick a philosophy and you can pick a moral approach, which is basically like your nature and your demeanor in Vampire. Remember how that was? So you can pick a Vanguard philosophy, like something you live by, and you can pick a moral approach to how you approach things as a Vanguard member. And that's on page 37 and 38. And there's also, but like I was saying, you don't have to pick a philosophy or a moral approach. You can simply develop those as you go, or you can keep them secret. Like, you can pretty much be an enigma as well. But this is just for those. I actually used that system because I wanted people who are really into role play, who want to play someone different. You know, they don't want to play themselves. So I left the opportunity to play a philosophy of someone who may be different than you. You know, whether you want to be an infiltrator, a liberator, a preserver, a disruptor, a cultivator. You know, whatever. You can read the different ones. An anarchist. You can also be an anarchist, you know, if that's something you're into.
Is there a description of the attributes in the book?
Yes.
Attribute.
Yes, there is. Let me find it for you. It'll be in... Should be near the core mechanics. Yeah, so it'll be on page 13. Starts on page 13, and the skills explanations are on page 14.
Skills, physical, hazard, combat.
And for attributes, we were doing 6, 8, 10, and 12.
Was 11, 9, 7, 5 is what I have written down.
Yeah, I'm sorry, babe. Yeah, 11, 9, 7, 5. That is correct, Dan. Let's see here. I'm going to go with... I think I'm definitely going to be giving my character philosophy. Let's see, what am I going to go with? I don't want him to be an anarchist. I'm going to say he's a liberator. He seems like a liberator.
And you said that's on page 38?
37 and 38, yep. But remember, you don't have to choose one, or you can make up your own as well. Just got to run them by me and see if it's going to fit the game and whatnot. philosophy, liberator, and I'm gonna say he's gonna be an idealist. Let's make him a pragmatist. He's a realist. And then, of course, you got careers. You guys will get to choose a career too. Make one up, even. There's a whole section on careers as well that'll kind of break things down for you. There might even be a random table for careers. I think I may have made one in the back of the book. I'm not sure, but you guys can take a look back there if you'd like. I can't remember if I did or not.
Can I combine two morals? The ideal radical?
Go for it. Yeah, definitely. The idealist radical. Are we gonna have any Synonymousher users? Doesn't look like it today. This game, huh?
Not this turn.
All right, no problem.
That's your magic, right, in this game?
Yeah, it's a magic system, yeah. But no worries, we had plenty of time to play with a Lex Medius magic character, Deb's last character. We've been playing it for months now, so we kind of know how it works, and it's kind of, it works the same as the other skills. So you learn one skill, you learn them all, basically. The most important thing is that we get the math and percentages right. I don't want people just being able to steamroll the game and roll successes all the time, but at the same time, I don't want it to be too hard either, so we're just gonna play, have fun, and find a good happy medium, to where the game has a little bit of a challenge, and on top of that, it's not too much of a steamroll either, so.
All right, I'm doing my philosophy as a disruptor.
All right, go for it. And remember, I know you are very limited, like you haven't did a lot of role playing, babe. But don't feel obligated to play your character exactly how your moral approach is. But I will say you should give it a try, though. That could be fun.
Absolutely.
Like Daniel, he's really good at that. Like when he makes a character a certain way, he's gonna play that character a certain way.
So Vanguards aren't really like a guild per se. It's just like a way of life, I guess. Am I understanding this correctly?
You're talking about being a Vanguard?
Yeah.
It's a resistance.
Like we're gonna be Vanguards, right?
Yeah, you got. Well, that's the thing. This game has two different settings. One setting, but two different styles of gameplay. So we can either do a Vanguard game, or we can do a traditional Cyberpunk game where the Vanguard storyline takes a sideline. Like it'll still be going on in the background, but you guys could just be, doing a traditional Cyberpunk where you're just, trying to be king of the hill, trying to be the big boy on the block. You want.
Okay. But in this scenario, we are Vanguard, right?
You may not start off as Vanguard.
Okay.
Yeah, you may, but eventually I would like to get you guys into the Vanguard. Yes.
And so it is kind of like a guild per se, or like a.
It's a resistance. It's literally a resistance. Yeah. There's 101 cells, or 101 cells, and they're all, and Prosperon's huge too. When I say this planet, like Arco Prime itself, has like 150 million people, megalopolis sprawl. You know, that's like 100 miles of pure, like 100 miles of stacked housing, and it's crazy. But yeah, so you have 101 cells of Vanguard. Each cell has a unique story. They have things like that. So you could pick a cell if you wanted to, and then after you pick the cell, I will make it to where you guys will find your way into that cell, that Vanguard cell, with the story. So you can pick your cell now, which is also in the book. And if you want a custom cell, which is also a rule written in the book, we can make a custom cell. Like if you want like a cell that's, specifically a cell of all hackers. Let's do it. Let's make one.
Do it.
And we can give them a name and everything. The Wild Boys, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. So the game has mechanics for that, to where you can make your own Vanguard cell. The ones that are in the book are just, examples that you can use. And of course, that will go under career. So you'll have your real career, and then under career, you'll also have your Vanguard cell when you choose one. Or if you want to make your own, just run it by me. Everything coming along pretty good there, babe?
Yes, I was coming up with a name.
Ah, yeah, that's always one of the toughest parts right there, isn't it? Don't forget, everybody starts off with 2,000 crypto. And don't forget to put your Sorto marks. Your Sorto marks is going to be equal to your, I think it's your influence, or maybe it's your cognition. Let me take a look at that real quick. Can't remember the mechanic for that. So let's go to the rules. Combat. Building a character, and here we go, Destiny tokens. Alright, so all characters begin with a Sorter mark level equal to 1/3 of their cognition level. So, and that's going to be rounded down.
What was that? What about it? It's your, what is cognition? What about it?
Okay, so there's a mechanic called Sorto marks, and basically it's like a free reroll. Every character gets so many Sorto marks to reroll each game. The more cognition you have, the more the more rolls you'll get. So your Sorto marks or Destiny token level is going to be 1/3 of your cognition level, rounded down to the nearest one.
I get 3.
But remember, there's a double-edged blade when it comes to the Sorto marks. So if you spend it, it'll give me a currency called ill fate marks, which I can then use to put disruptions in your game. So you'll get to re-roll it, and you might succeed. And if you do, that's great. But it gives me currency as well. It's like a push and pull system.
So with my cognition being 5, then I get sorter mark of 1, right?
Yes, or you get 1 sorter mark. That is correct.
My character is not very smart.
Fair enough.
She's very strong, but not smart.
She's beefcake.
Yeah.
We are opposites.
Yeah, Daniel's like super brilliant and like super techie.
I'm thinking my character model is going to be based off of Patton Oswalt.
Nice.
Well, I have Vexus Jern starting out as a dive bar bouncer.
Ah, so that's your career, a bouncer. Nice. Have you found
Yeah.
Have you found a cell that you might want to be recruited to at some point in the game?
Probably like the Ironbound.
All right. So go ahead and put Ironbound on your careers, and then we'll see what we can do. I'll definitely get you into the story there.
Cell 77.
All right, and you guys can spend crypto as well. If you go to the crypto section, which is at the end of the rules section in the beginning of the book, you can buy a car, you can buy a vehicle, you can buy, and trust me, you're gonna want to save some of that money to buy an armor. If you're a hacker, you're gonna need to buy a cyber deck. And the only way to start off with a cyber deck is you got to spend $1,000 or 1,000 crypto to get it in the beginning. And also remember, crypto is also utilized in the game to grease some palms. You know, it can open up doors for you without, and sometimes it won't even require you to make a social roll. Sometimes, depending on your luck die, I'll let you just, hey, you got the money, he'll do it for you. You know, no need to roll. So crypto's a good thing to have. It can make things happen.
I'll steal some though too, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could.
I'll shake them down for you.
Can I get some crypto miners? While you're beating them up, I'm hacking into their bank account.
Right? Oh, dude, I'm so pumped to see how you two role play, man. It's gonna be fun. You know, we're gonna have a good time.
Convergence.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend because I got 5 days off next week, so I'm gonna build out this entire campaign to get ready for next weekend. I'm gonna build out the pictures, the city. Like I wanna do it up for you guys and make it as good as I can. I want it to be a very interactive experience for you guys. And then hopefully Ty and Elise will get to me sometime this week because they're supposed to be in the game as well. But Elise said that she would have to see what they're going to be doing for, you know. So we'll see if that works out. But yeah, definitely hope we have a good time.
If I wanted to get into sinometry, what would I have to do in that?
So, if you want to become an inscriber or a sinometrist user in the future, like if you don't want to start off with one, it's not all hope is lost. The only thing you can't do is swap out your sinometry score for another skill. So you'll have to still keep your sinometry score of 4, but you can level it up with milestones. So the book specifically says that sinometry is like a muscle. Even though it might be low level, you can strengthen it up like a muscle and build it up. But you will have to find an order. You would have to find an inscriber order. They'll have to accept you. So you'll pick whichever inscriber order you want to go to, whether it's a Leximedius user, which they're called the lexicographers. They're one of the.
If I wanted to start with a higher sense, how do I do that?
So once you build your character and you're all done, and you decide you want to be a sonometry user, you can take that 4 and swap it with any other skill. So you can take that 4 and replace your combat, or replace your technical, or replace your knowledge. And then there'll be a 4 there, and then you'll put the other one with your sonometry score.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, and I think it's a cognition rule, right?
Yes, it's cognition.
It would be crazy good for my character.
It could be, yeah.
Because I have cognition's my highest attribute. I think that would be kind of cool. I think it would actually probably work quite well with what my character kind of does. It'd basically be his version of hacking in the real world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Data tap sounds sick. So these like different syntax domains, do those cost like tags for me to take, or?
Yes, cost tags. So if you'll have to remove a tag if you've already spent them all. You'll have to remove one and take one for sonometry. So you get 6 tags, and that includes sonometry tags.
Okay, so each of, like, for example, the flow syntax, is that a tag, or is it each of the spells underneath it?
Each of the spells are
a tag. So, like, data tap is kind of the same thing as hacker.
It sure is, and I purposely made it that way. I wanted it to be where if somebody wanted to be a hacker but using their sonometry, it's mostly a role play type thing, because you can literally tap into the neuron, the neural net with your mind, basically, using this type of sonometry or using that domain. It's kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of cool, and actually Deb's character had that version of sonometry in the beginning.
And I wouldn't put that under my skill though, right? I would actually put that under my diversity tags under sonometry.
Yes, so if you decide to replace one of your current diversity tags for your skills, you'll just remove that one, just erase it, and then it'll go under your diversity tags for sonometry. You'll get 6 total. That's it. Total of 6, including your sonometry. If you decide to go with sonometry, you don't have to. But like I said, if you go with it in the beginning, you can opt to trade your sonometry level. How many points you have in it. You can switch that in the beginning, but you can't once you start the game. So if you're going to do it, it's probably best to do it in the beginning, but it's not impossible, though, to do it while playing.
Power boost under flesh syntax, it doesn't say if it is... wait.
Power boost should give you a +1 to your attributes, right?
Do you know if it's self-only?
Huh?
Do you know if it's self-only, or would I be able to power boost someone else? Kind of like quick heal. Can heal someone.
You know what? I'm gonna say, yeah, let's try it. Like I said, this is where we're trying to work out the bugs. So come up with ideas to try to break the game, and I'm just gonna allow you to do stuff like that. So yes, you can buff other people, but the moment it becomes a problem in the game, I might have to remove some things because this is a play test. So for now, yes, you can use it to buff you and buff other people, and I'm gonna take a note of that to remember that we made that change. So. What's the name of that ability again? Sorry, power tap or?
It's called power boost. I might not pick it though because I'm realizing I might be. Hold on. There's a lot of possibilities here.
Players. All right, guys. Looks like we should be getting pretty close to having our characters finalized. I think all you guys need to do. Dan's still determining whether he wants to go with Sinometry, so we're gonna let Dan think on that one. Have you been spending? Do you want to go through your crypto, babe, and spend your crypto to get your armor and whatever else you like?
I think so.
Okay. So let me find the section in the book that tells you exactly what you can buy with crypto. I know you can get armor, you can get havens, and you can get vehicles as well. I think there's a few other things as well. Let me take a look at the.
Do we start with any weapons?
Yes, you do start with one tier. Everybody starts with one tier 1 weapon. Melee or range. Everybody gets one tier 1 weapon to start with. And that's before spending your crypto as well. So that's on the house. That's
Yes.
Would so for decay touch.
yeah, I love that one. I love that.
Would someone's cyber arm be considered an inanimate object?
Oh, dude, I love the way that you think, Dan. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a no-go on that one. Yeah. I'm gonna say if it's integrated into human flesh, even though it is inanimate technically, I'm gonna have to say no-go on that one. Yeah, if it's integrated onto the body of someone, it's not gonna work. But you can use it to do other things though. Like I said, it's one of those things that might not seem that powerful, but it may come in handy for whatever crazy reason that might pop up in a game.
Yeah, it's also kind of cool if I need to get rid of evidence or
Right, stuff like that. You see, you're already thinking about stuff like that, Dan. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna get that one. It's just so fucking broken. Means I need to get rid of. If I use Sinometry, is it obvious to people?
Okay, so here's the thing with that. Think of like D&D. Sinometry is you have to have a totem as well, and the only and some spells require a bit of focus, and you'll see that. And when you read some of the spells, the spell will tell you if you fail or botch or something, you'll lose your turn or whatever because you're kind of focusing. But technically, people can't tell if you're using it unless they're a Sinometry user themselves. Then they'll know. They'll know then. So it's kind of hard to explain. But basically, you don't have to wave your totem around or anything. But you focus through your totem, so you just kind of have this strained kind of look about you whenever you're using it, like you're thinking really hard. So yeah, you're right. So technically, nobody's gonna know you're using it unless they're an inscriber themselves. Oh, and obviously, if they're seeing things around them happening, any type of magic starts to happen, they're gonna know that somebody's using it. Then they might be able to look at those subtle things that you may be doing and be like, oh, it's got to be him. But we can also do some cool stuff, like if you want to do like a type of composure roll, you know, to hide that. I would probably give it to you. I'd say let's go for it. Like cool, let's do it. And I'll put that under social, of course, and influence to try to mask your, you know, like what you're thinking about and, you know, your emotions and stuff. But like I said, this game is modular, so talk it out with me. Talk it out with your GM. Talk it out with me. See if we can make it happen. It's like a push and pull negotiation. And sometimes you might have a good argument for why you want to use that spell, and if it's a compelling argument, bring it up to me, and I'll be like, you know what, you're absolutely right, Dan. You're right. You can use that for that.
All right, you said we start with 2,000 crypto?
Yes, 2,000 crypto. That's correct.
I'm spending 500 to get a Kevlar vest.
All right, you got yourself some Kevlar. Go ahead and mark that down and put your armor level for it. And don't worry, the book's not finished, guys. I will be adding more armors to the game. I'm sorry I don't have a huge selection now, but don't worry, that's coming. I'm going to be doing some updates to all the weapons. I'm going to be doing updates to all the cyberware, bioware. You know, we're not finished yet, but as of right now, the game is pretty functional. Me and Deb, my wife, have been playing for months now, and it seems as if there may be a few balancing issues, but for the most part, it's been pretty solid. So yeah, guys, stick around for our podcast that we'll be doing over the next week or two, and we'll be doing it for the foreseeable future. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it. All right, babe. Are you pretty much done for the most part?
I think so. I can read out my character if y'all want.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's go for it. Give me your name and give me your philosophy. Yeah, go ahead and talk about your character.
So, my character is Vex Jern. She's a street ripper warrior. She's a bouncer at a dive bar. She likes to disrupt everything. So she's an idealist with radical tendencies. She's got enhanced strength and speed, street tactics with the expert with makeshift weapons, and she's good at navigating chaos, and she has a very intimidating presence.
Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds cool.
Got a quantum katana and just a simple Kevlar vest.
Very nice. So you're going to pocket some of the rest of that crypto for the game for getting through some sticky situations that you may need to get out of?
Yeah, hold on to that for now.
All right. Go ahead and go through the Haven section of the game and go ahead and pick a Haven. If you guys don't spend money on a Haven, you guys will get the basic run-of-the-mill Haven. And you can see those at the end of the book in the Havens and Stronghold sections. Now, if you guys decide you want to start off as a Vanguard, you can do that as well. If you want to pick yourself now and say, I want to be a Vanguard, I will make that happen. And then if you do that, you can choose to live at the Vanguard Stronghold. The only thing about living at the Vanguard Stronghold is it comes with some stipulations, you know, because Vanguard sales are very strict. So there are certain things that you cannot do. It's militaristic. It's like a military. So imagine living in a military stronghold, you know. So yeah, that's one thing to consider. So if you want to be a Vanguard, you want to live in the stronghold, let me know. And at least you'll be able to sleep safely and soundly in the stronghold. But you're going to be, like I said, there's going to be those stipulations. And then, or you can spend some extra money monthly on a particular haven. If you want something nicer, like a hab pod or something like that, you can invest in that. Or you can sleep in the substrates in an alley. Whatever you want to do. But those are things we can work out as we go. But I'd say for the most part, I'd say we're we're done with our session 0. I know we got a few odds and ends that Dan needs to square away. But Deb, thank you for sharing your character with us. Dan, did you want to share your character before I end the stream? Or share what you have? Or share what you have so far? Oh, you there, Dan?
Sorry, I was muted. I was thinking of his my character's. I guess I don't really have like his government name per se, but I think he would probably go by like a tag usually.
Oh, like a handle.
Yeah, he's probably. I was thinking either onomatopoeia or emoji, and depending on other stuff with that. I'm still working on some of the stuff. I did have another question. I don't know if you want to field a question real fast in between all this.
Yeah, go for it.
So I was reading Idea Plant, and if you fail, it has a chance of triggering a syntax bleed. Can you give me a brief description of what a syntax bleed would do to the area?
Okay, so there is there's an actual section for syntax bleeds, but I'll give you a quick explanation. Basically, every single sinometry ability or spell can trigger a syntax bleed. That syntax bleed is going to be in relation to what type of sinometry you're using, which domain. For instance, if you're using barrier, which is like a force field sinometry abilities, if you do a syntax, so say you double crit, the worst crit in the game, a 10 and a 20, the syntax bleed that's going to bleed from that, you're going to kill multiple people around you. There's going to be this giant, like, explosion shield that's going to just protrude from you, and it's going to just wipe people out around you. And that's basically...
So it's like a tear in reality happens or something wacky, exactly. Bad happens that is... Okay, cool. So it's kind of like... Okay, yeah. I get it. That's awesome. Reminds me of a Warhammer mechanic in one of the Warhammer tabletop games that I played, which was pretty rad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't take it from that, but you're right. There is something that the psychers go through whenever they...
Exactly, yeah. The psychers, if you like, so there's like a whole chart. There's you roll one, a D100, and you could legit spawn like a bloodthirster just spawns out of nowhere, or it could just be you grow a tail,
Right. Right.
But yeah, something from the dark void just kind of grabs the area and affects it. Like I remember after after at the end of our game, like my psyker had like 2 extra appendages and a tail, and like the whole party did too because of me, because I kept on botching and like shit from the void would like appear, or we were just so grotesque at the end of the game. It was hilarious, but yeah.
Yep, I guess you could say that is the syntax bleeds are really similar to that. Yes, sir. Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I like it. Okay. Another question real fast is just the same goes. Okay, so you know how I was asking about power boost, if I could use it on an ally. It doesn't. The same thing with focus boost. Can I use it on an ally?
Read to me.
It's the same thing as power boost, but instead it's cognition. Instead of physical, it's just cognition.
Okay, so why not? Like I said, I'm gonna let you experiment with some stuff. This'll help me to fix and patch the holes in the game. So, for instance, if you do decide to go with it and you use it, and we're like, dude, that's way too overpowered. I can write that into the book. Only works on self.
Yeah, I'm putting it on. I'm putting it on my character, and I think I'm gonna end up taking it twice so I can get +2 cognition to myself, because that sounds like it's gonna synergize with my casting fucking cyber spells at people.
Yeah, but the thing
so
is, you can't take at the beginning at character creation. You can't take a tag up to twice. You have to take the second tag using milestones.
Oh no shit. Okay, well at least I can do it once. That's cool.
And if we're playing hardcore, you can't even buy a second tag. Hardcore is you get one diversity tag and that's all you can have. That's actually the way the game is supposed to be played. But we're playing intermediate.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really have I didn't really pick any of the natures and demeanors for the character. I don't know, just none of them really seemed like it fit kind of what I was thinking of. I was thinking of kind of like a narcissistic cat who enjoys inside the cyber world more than anything, and if anything threatens that, then that's where he would kind of like utilize his shit to kind of push back. And I would assume the more corporate world is taking over and putting ads in his face when he doesn't want them, and he's just
nice.
It's just it's more of an inconvenience to him, and he's just like fuck it, I'm gonna make you want to show me ads, I'll show you ads. I like fucking go and hack their shit and ruin some of their I think that would be really fun.
That sounds fun.
Obviously not a super social cat, but because of his his ideal world is talking to AI and talking to computers and zeros and ones and shit like that. He's an absolute, like, what's the word, curmudgeon, or like a hermit. Yeah, so
awesome,
should be. That's kind of like my idea of it, and I have a picture. I don't know if I was thinking for the character.
Yeah, if you email them to me, Dan. Email me your pictures, and then I will upload them into Alchemy and have them a part of your character.
Okay, I put it in Discord if you're right, but yeah, that's like all I have, I guess, at this point. I don't really have everything else kind of fleshed out yet. What's moral approach, philosophy? Oh wait, philosophy is one of those, huh? Was the
like your philosophy is like your form of thinking, like how you think. But your moral approach is even though you may think a certain way, I'm gonna act this way. It's literally
gotcha. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna have to figure those out. I'll probably have to write my own on those,
like
and then
make up your own too. That's a part of the rules. You can absolutely make it up. Just let me know what it is, and then we'll add it. And who knows? I might even permanently add it to the game if it sounds really cool.
Is milestone and career necessary?
No, you don't have,
or not necessary. Are they needed? Required?
Well, you definitely want to have a career because if you have a career, you can make money in the game. If not, you can find a career in the game as well. But remember,
well, I would assume like his form of.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I would assume his form of making money would just be like stealing it digitally.
Okay.
Just being an absolute. He's just a dirtbag. Oh. This is my domain, that kind of guy. I don't know. You live in my domain.
Thief. You can put thief, basically.
There you go. Yeah. Digital
thief.
Thief, yeah, cyber thief.
Yeah. And then
that's why I have cyber ghost or whatever it is thing. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna go through and fix up some of these tags, and I haven't spent any crypto, but I'm obviously going to need a cyber deck. Do I need to spend any crypto on symmetry? Sinometry?
Sinometry?
Do I need like a special pin?
No, you don't have.
When I'm writing out my.
You don't need any type of money.
Okay.
It's like I said, all you have to do.
Or training? No.
You need training. You need to declare an order. The orders are in the book. They're. Let me get the page for you. So you have to find an order. Once you declare your order, which is like your school, basically, your school. Once you find that, then you will you'll declare it.
Oh, is the order a domain?
No.
No. Oh, okay. But I can pick from any domain, right?
Correct. You can pick from any domain.
Tags?
Yep.
Okay.
That might change. I've been actually thinking about that. Is making domains associated with certain schools or orders. So I was thinking about that, Dan. That might be coming soon.
Okay. Interesting.
Just because you said that, I'm going to add that to the notes because I forgot about that. So let me add that to my playtest notes here.
So do I just take 1,000 away for the cyber deck?
Yep. You'll take 1,000 away for your cyber deck.
Okay.
And that right there gives you the ability to hack Neurally or OldNet. But you're not gonna, you like that. You just having that gives you the ability. If you didn't have that, you couldn't do it at all.
Is there a BioWare version of the cyber deck?
No, there's no BioWare version. Unfortunately, BioWare does some cool stuff, but unfortunately, there's no BioWare for that. That's all CyberNet. That's a utility item. There's Sinometry that can do that for you, but like I said, you have to sacrifice one thing for another if you want to use this data tap.
What do you mean sacrifice one for the other? So it's either you spend 1,000 crypto or you spend a tag?
No. Meaning you'll have to sacrifice one of your skill points to swap it out for your Sinometry skill.
So since I'm already going down that path, it might actually be worth it instead.
Could be, yeah.
But I guess having a cyber deck might be worth it just in general. I mean, it would make sense my character would have one, so.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. It's cool though. I like it.
Awesome.
These schools, or what'd you call it? Not the orders. Need to find this.
Looks like it starts on page 128.
128. Thank you.
I'm sorry, 127.
Echoes of the past, rise of the mega corporation. Self-taught inscriber who learned through trial, error, and often pain. I guess that would be. I mean, I could still learn more through myself, right? If I do the street syntax.
Yeah. If you're a street syntax, you're the one of the few cases that can actually master domains on your own. But the only thing is, it's an increased hazard level when you do it. Since you're not taught, your hazard level for learning new skills goes up by 1.
Okay.
That also goes to tell you, the void syntax is the only syntax that other orders cannot learn. There's only one order that can learn that, and I think it is the street syntax. I think there's 2. Oh no, I think it's the street and the wild syntax.
The underground.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. It's the underground. Thank you. I forgot. It is the underground. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I have that, so I either need one of those two. So I'm gonna go with probably the underground revolutionary cells teaching forbidden techniques. Believe that only through symmetry can corporate control be permanently broken. Sure, it sounds. Yeah, they're not gonna control me. All right.
Sound a lot like you. I like your character. Total punk, dude.
It's a shithead. Place. Don't need to worry about gene splicing, right? Neural elixirs. Those sound like it's gonna be cool. You get a fucking badass.
Gene splicing is one of those things that you can buy with crypto. So there aren't many things you can even buy with crypto in this universe, but that is one of them. You can buy gene splicing. You can get one for each attribute, which will permanently raise your attribute by 1. But it costs 10,000 crypto per gene splicing.
Okay, so money equals stats. Gotcha. I'm gonna have to really do this. I gotta do a big heist then. All right. 1, 2, 5, 6. One offensive thing.
All right, guys. Well, it sounds like you guys are pretty much wrapped up. I know, Daniel, you got a few odds and end questions here, but I'm sure the people out there listening to this, or that will be listening to this stream soon, they probably have things to do. But if you did, check out the video or check out the podcast. We appreciate you guys very much. Like I said, make sure to look out for us in the coming weeks, and when our podcast officially starts, we'll be doing session number 1, of course, and it'll be. We're not sure if we're going to be doing it every week or every 2 weeks, because Moop here has a unique schedule, and then I work full time. My wife works full time, so we'll definitely let you guys know. Though I'll release an update video in the coming weeks, just to let you know what's going on after our first session, and then we'll go from there. Okay, guys. Well, I appreciate you, and you guys have a wonderful. What's that, Dan?
May the sinometry be with you.
May the sinometry be with you. I like that. Yep. Oh, don't forget, you guys can pick up the book too. The first actual draft edit is done, and you can pick that up at Draft Your RPG. It's Prosperon Bio-Cyberpunk RPG. That's Prosperon Bio-Cyberpunk RPG. All right, guys, take care.